You might want to avoid looking down if you're afraid of heights.
No, it's not that. Paimon's just praying that we don't have yet another accident. That mountain is breathtaking. Reminds Paimon of Dragonspine.
They say this mountain's the domain of a Snegovic lord. A lot of the Snegovic retreated there to live in seclusion, so it's a pretty mysterious place. You hear all kinds of stories. Even the residents of the nearby town of Svietlo-Lidovka steer clear of the summit, and they make a living off of harvesting prime ice. Look, Snezhnograd's just up ahead. Here we are. Welcome to Snezhnograd train station, the biggest transport hub in the nation.
Wow! It's so majestic! Just flying from one side to the other would probably leave Paimon out of breath!
It's built for maximum efficiency, but yes, transferring trains here can be a little tiring. In the future, you can use this train station to travel anywhere you want in Snezhnaya. For now, though, come with me. Let's get Paimon checked out. This way. There's a lift car that goes straight to Sapoliarny.
Get yourself a copy! Look! Look! They have really funny-looking hats! And those ones are about the same height as Paimon! But it looks like they can't fly!
Those would be Volkudlak and Domovoy. You'll also see the winged Vila and the snowborn Snegovic amongst others.
No wonder! We'd heard that Snezhnaya used to be the realm of the Fae. Paimon can really see it now.
To the left is the market of Zolny. They sell everything there. You can often find some nifty little trinkets. To the right, you'll see the Korolyevsky Theater in the distance.
Look at that! Incredible!
It's bitterly cold, and it never seems to end.
Wow! Snezhnograd is stunning! Seeing it with our own eyes makes all the trouble we went through to get here worth it!
I found it pretty stunning when I first came here too. But I soon found out that stunningly beautiful means stunningly expensive. The prices here are crazy. I'm just a small-time hunter, so Zolny is where I spend most of my time. This way will take us to Podvorier restaurant. They offer food and lodging there, so you can get settled in while I fetch the doctor.
Is that gonna be stunningly expensive too?
Yeah, I mean, there are places to stay in Zolny, but I highly doubt they'd meet your standards. Most of the stoves are out of crystal, the windows are drafty, and at night, four-legged roommates come out to play, sharpening their claws on the roof beams and floorboards.
Yep, no way. Not a chance Paimon's staying anywhere like that. Maybe we can split the cost of the room between us? Paimon still has some savings left. Fine then. It's your treat. Paimon will save her money for buying a nice little cake. Don't worry, you'll get some too.
I'm glad to see you've perked up. If you find yourselves in the mood for some sightseeing later, there's a few places around here worth seeing. This way leads to Zapoliarny Palace, which serves as the Tsaritsa's audience chamber and also her personal quarters. The adjacent block is kind of a city in its own right. That's Glupov, the headquarters of the Fatui. Inside, there's a munitions factory known as the Armory Palace, producing a constant supply of all kinds of equipment for the Fatui. A lot of important research happens there too. And over there is the Snezhnegrad Vecha, where all the big shots meet regularly to make policy decisions. These places are best admired from a distance. I'm sure I don't need to explain why.
Yeah, they probably have super strict security. We're not looking for trouble right now.
The downtown area is near the center of Zapoliarny. That's where you'll find the restaurants, bookstores, and gift shops. Another place of interest is the Northland Bank, which is over this way. Oh, and I'm sure you'll want to make contact with the Adventurers Guild at some point, right? That's right here.
Ooh, speaking of adventuring, we use alchemy quite a lot. Do you know where we can find a crafting bench?
No one practices alchemy at Snezhnegrad, I'm afraid. Apparently there's some historical reason for it.
Oh, we'll just have to use the one on the train then. Kinda inconvenient. Wait, how come there's one on the train if that's Snezhnayan too?
Yeah, I don't know. Not my area of expertise. Still, I wouldn't say the absence of alchemy makes life here any less convenient. Anyway... Finally, there's Zolny in that direction. It's mostly residential buildings and factories, but there's a few shops too. Worth a look around if you're interested. That's about it. You guys go ahead and get checked in while I track down my doctor friend.
Sounds good. Thanks for all the recommendations. It'll be good to get out of the cold wind.
Podvorier restaurant is right this way.
Looks like you get what you pay for, huh? Paimon likes this room a lot. Yeah, much better now that we're out of the cold. Oh, thanks for taking such good care of Paimon. If this were anywhere else, we'd be out investigating and adventuring by now. But instead, we're stuck here waiting for a doctor. You're right. No need to push ourselves too hard for no reason. A lot happened on our way into the city. Let's review what we've learned so far and try to figure out what to do next. Obviously, the million more question is, what is this Saritsa planning? Everything else leads back to that. Sure was. And so far, we've learned that in addition to the 7 Gnosis, her plan also requires a ton of energy. But we won't get to see her anytime soon. Alosha said that she went east to fight that big monster. It must be a pretty powerful one if it can blanket the whole of Snezhnaya in a snowstorm this awful. To be honest, what we're really lacking right now is information. The kind of information that only the higher-ups in the government would know, not word-on-the-street type of info. Paimon can think of a few people who might be able to help us, but... Right! And when we left Nocry, Sandrone specifically left a message reminding us which side we're on. So, it's unlikely they'd tell us anything confidential about the Saritsa's grand plan. Yeah, fair point. Besides, that Gloop-off place is right nearby. We've got nothing to lose, so it'll be a waste not to go. There's gotta be someone there willing to talk to us, right? Maybe Arlecchino or Sandrone? Or possibly Tartaglia. But it's unlikely we could sweet-talk Arlecchino, let alone Sandrone. She basically told us to stay in her lane already. Yeah, the last time was all the way back in Fontaine, right? Too bad we missed him in Nocry. Apparently, he came to help out.
Hello. Is there a traveler in Paimon in there?
That's Alosha! Come in!
Hello, I'm Dr. Luneva. Alosha mentioned that one of you is feeling a little under the weather. I see. So you're my patient today, yes? And you're, Faye, I presume?
Good question. Paimon's not too sure either, but she's definitely not the same kind of Fae as the ones we saw at the train station. Is that gonna be an issue?
Not exactly. It's just, I'm used to treating human patients. Fae tend to be far more resilient than even the healthiest and most long-lived of humans. But don't worry, I do have some experience treating Fae. I've even diagnosed plenty of cats and dogs in my time. Safe to say, I have a fairly eclectic range of expertise.
It'll be fine. Paimon's basically the same as a human, right? We're no different when it comes down to it, are we? That's just because Paimon knows how to eat.
Now, please take a seat. Okay, vital signs are good. Test results are all within normal ranges. I don't think it's anything serious. More than likely, you've just caught a cold. I can give you some medicine to tide you over, but as long as you rest properly for the next couple of days, you should feel better. Make sure to keep an eye on your temperature, though. If you find yourself with a persistent low-grade fever, or if your symptoms don't improve, just contact me again.
Sounds like there's no cause for alarm.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're very welcome. Just doing my job. I'll leave you in peace now. Time to visit my next patients.
Take care. You heard the doctor. Best you rest up here for a couple days. No sightseeing for the time being.
All right, then. Guess we've got no choice. Let's just treat it as a short vacation.
I have to get back to it. If you need anything else from the doctor or me, go to the Hunter Trade Station in Zolny. The boss there knows how to reach me. Hey, no big deal. You saved my life in the Shadow Realm. This is the least I could do. See you around.
All right, time to find Child and see what he can tell me.
Hold on. Please display your invitation letter or permit. Glupov does not accept meeting requests without a prior appointment. You'll have to apply per the advertised booking process and wait until your invitation letter is issued. Might I ask who you're hoping to visit? Another one who thinks the rules don't apply to them. I don't understand why people think they can just talk their way in here. You don't just show up and land a meeting with the Harbinger. But I have to go through the motions for protocol's sake. Wait a moment. I'll pass on your message. If Child is unavailable, you'll have to go through the proper procedure. Lord Child is a busy man. He's probably not in Glupov at the present. If I were you, I'd cut your losses. No point waiting any longer. Even if you two are old friends as you claim, please understand that the Fatui Harbingers are often busy with their official duties. They tend not to stay in Glupov for extended periods. Next time, stick to the rules. You'll make life easier for both of us, Greetings, Lady Marionette.
I'll take care of our guest here. It's his first time in Snezhnaya, so it's no surprise that he doesn't know the rules yet. I trust no choice words have been exchanged. No misunderstandings I should be aware of.
No, Lady Marionette. No incidents to report. Whew, that was a close call. Good thing I played it cool.
Is that right? Good to know. Wait, where's Paimon? Under the weather? That's hard to imagine. She's always buzzing with energy. I take it she's still adapting to the climate. Happens to a lot of people. It's even colder here than in Nodcry. Has she seen a doctor? I can get you one if you need. All right then. Well, let me know if you run into any other problems. Why else? I was just about to sit down for some much-needed tea time when I heard that an old friend of Tartaglia's had shown up outside. No appointment, nothing. And, as obnoxious as it may be to show up uninvited at Glupov, I couldn't help but take pity on the poor soul who was waiting outside in vain. So I had no choice but to abandon my freshly brewed piping hot tea and come to see this mystery guest for myself. Well, I felt our time working together in Nodcry warranted some courtesy. I couldn't exactly let you freeze to death out here in the wind. Unfortunately, I can't invite you inside either. The rules of Glupov wouldn't allow it, and as a Harbinger, I have to lead by example. On the plus side, Snezhnograd actually has some class, unlike Nasha Town. Torchlight Books has a very nice selection of teas and cakes, so we can catch up there. Your treat, of course. Because I already wasted one perfectly good cup of tea today. That... I've ordered for the both of us. No objections, I assume. I'm sure you trust my taste. Okay, let's get down to business. I'm guessing you don't actually have any urgent business with Tartaglia, per se. You just want information, right? Wanna take a guess? Of course you'd say that. You shouldn't underestimate Counselor Tartaglia, you know. That's right. I'm sure you've heard of the Snezhnograd Vecha by now. Well, he's busy preparing some paperwork for their next meeting. They'll be discussing yet another extension to Project Stuja. It's basically all anyone cares about in the Vecha these days. Yeah, he's more of the shoot first, ask questions later sort, isn't he? It all started with a very detailed letter that Capitano left for the jester, Piero, before leaving for Natlan. In that letter, he detailed the future arrangements for his subordinates. All of his key people were reassigned to Tartaglia. I guess he'd already prepared to leave us for good all the way back then. But Piero didn't reveal the contents of the letter until the events in Natlan had concluded. That was his reaction, too. Why me? With a bewildered look on his face. He'd always assumed Capitano looked down on him. He was a man who kept his thoughts to himself and barely spoke to him the whole time they'd known each other. But he occasionally brought Tartaglia along to my tea parties back in the day. So to the rest of us, it was clear that Capitano had quite a lot of respect for his young comrade. By the rest of us, I mean my tea party regulars. Arlecchino, Rosaline, and... actually, not Columbina. She was probably oblivious to it. Anyway, then the Liues situation happened. Normally, it took a lot to get under Capitano's skin, but that time he was furious. It's not really my place to talk about it, though. You can ask Tartaglia about it sometime. Basically, Tartaglia probably had the wrong idea about Capitano all along, right up until Piero revealed the letter he'd left behind. Capitano believed that despite Tartaglia's immaturity, he showed great potential. Plus, he possessed a kind of purity rarely seen among members of the Fatui. Yeah, it's one of the few things that I'd agree those two have in common. But there's one other reason why Capitano chose Tartaglia to assume command of his troops. He knew that after he was gone, several of the others would swoop in on his army like vultures. With the ones who stood to benefit the most being the rooster Pulcinella and Regrator Pantalone. Once they divided Capitano's troops between them, they'd be more powerful than ever. No one would be able to stop them. So, you can see why Capitano chose to hand that letter to Piero, right? Exactly. Piero also needed to back a harbinger as soon as possible. And all things considered, Tartaglia was the best choice. Even though Tartaglia has had the support of Northland Bank for a long time, he and Pantalone are ultimately not cut from the same cloth. I'd say Capitano made a good judgment call. Anyone else caught in this situation would probably feel like they'd been hung out to dry. His best course of action will be to distance himself from any shady business, while still maintaining friendly relations with Pantalone, but seeking Pulcinella's support at the same time. What's the point in having a tea party if you don't spill a little tea? Besides, none of this is confidential anyway. Ask any journalist out there. They'll give you all the lurid details. You'll see it firsthand if you ever sit in on a session of the Snezhnograd Vecha. All the factional strife, whether open or unspoken, it plays out for all to see in that one little room. Having a voice in a Vecha is the only way to steer policies in your favor. So, every person in that room represents a particular interest group. Pantalone, for instance, represents the financial sector, and Tartaglia represents the Fatui soldiers. Personally, I have no interest in political jousting, but since I have a number of engineers and researchers under my command, I have to make their voices heard. Then there's Pulcinella, the linchpin of the Vecha. He represents politics itself. Everything involves him, so nothing can bypass him. Any issue that comes up, he knows how to mediate. That's what the Tsaritsa values most about him.
I'm starting to see why everyone is so frustrated with the way things are, but also powerless to change it. A complex web of interests connects all parties involved, and the Tsaritsa sitting at the top adds another layer of complexity. It must be nearly impossible to come up with a perfect solution.
All right, I'm done carrying this conversation. Time for you to answer a question of mine. You must have known that you can get the info you needed from me. So why was Tartaglia the first person you asked to see and not me? Huh? Jealous? As if. Wait. Oh, I think I know what it is. Columbina passed on my message to you before you left Not Cry, right? I only meant you should be mindful of which side you're on. Is that actually why you didn't ask for me? Because you took that to heart? Fair enough. It's not your fault. I blame all these politicians I've been hanging around with lately. Always beating about the bush when they talk. I guess it must have rubbed off on me. Anyway, just ask for my help next time, okay? Little things like this are no problem.
Lady Marionette.
What now? Can't you see I'm on my break? Whatever it is, just leave it on my desk. I'll look at it later.
Sorry to disturb you during your break, ma'am, but I'm afraid it's an emergency.
Isn't it always? I've told you before, fixing the tracks and transporting ice blocks does not constitute an emergency.
The equipment in Svietlolaidovka is in urgent need of maintenance. With how the weather's been recently, we suspect that the cause is a buildup of snow, exceeding the maximum weight limit. The supports on one of the machines broke and fell, awakening a dormant beast and leaving many of the ice miners trapped in a nearby ice cave. Luckily, Odette's team was nearby and launched a rescue operation, but we're still facing a severe manpower shortage for both the rescue and engineering teams.
I guess that's it then. Our tea party will have to end here. I'm the only engineer you'll need. Do you actually want to come with, or are you just saying that? Nice of you to return the favor. I'll have a couple of people look after Paimon. They can let her know that you had to step out for a while. Given how urgent this is, I'm sure she'll understand. And honestly, I'd rather have your help than anyone else's. Between your skills and experience, you'd be reliable help. Then let's go. You, take 2 people to Pavorier restaurant. Find his room and watch it like a hawk until we get back. If anything happens to Paimon, you'll be answering to me.
Yes, Lady Marionette.
Wait a moment. They weren't exaggerating. This is really dangerous. It's a good thing only one of them broke. From what I've been told, most of the trapped miners are over in that direction. Yeah, you do that while I check the rest of the equipment. I'll evacuate the people around here as I go. Meet me back here as soon as you're done.
I have to be getting close.
Don't go any further. It's too dangerous here. There's a highly aggressive monster on the prowl. You need to leave, now. Ah, I see. You're the backup from Snezhnegrad. Well, I'm Odette. Good to meet you.
Ah, so this is Odette. She was the first member of the Fatui on the scene.
There are 5 people trapped in the cave. Monster type is unknown, and so is its location. Let's go. Every second counts. Careful. Something's moving. This must be the monster's shadow. Looks like a tough opponent.
Stay back!
Pot of death. Witness the snow swan's grace. I see them. They're right behind the monster. The monster seems very agitated. It could attack at any moment. Let's make the first move. Let's begin.
Hit this!
Shadow me. Waltz of the snowflakes.
Take this!
Pirouette.
Thank you for saving us. We'd have been monster fodder otherwise.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You should be safe now. Follow this route out. He and I will stay behind to watch the rear.
Thank you. Come on, let's go. This...
I've searched the area. Pretty sure the monster made a tactical retreat. Yeah, but with us here, it won't be coming back anytime soon. It may be small, but don't be fooled. It's a ferocious beast. People are just food in its eyes. It's lucky we got here when we did. The trapped miners have been successfully evacuated. Time for us to leave.
Wait, this place. There's something unusual about it.
What is that?
I don't know. It's back?
Guess it has family. This way. Run! out of here. Everyone's accounted for. We managed to rescue them all. We also placed a sign at the entrance to the cave, warning people to stay away. You really held your own today. I still don't know your name. Don't think I've seen you before. I'll remember the name. All right then. See you around. Hello, Lady Marionette.
I hear the rescue operation was a great success. I knew I could count on you. What brings you here, Odette?
No, a Fatui mission. I happened to be nearby and heard the crash.
She hasn't introduced herself then. Odette is the prima ballerina of Snezhnograd. She's quite the celebrity. If you ever hear people mention the two crowning jewels of the Korailievsky troupe, they're talking about Odette and the prima donna, Vodianitsa. On top of that, Odette's also a rising Fatui star. It's looking likely she'll inherit the title of the Fair Lady. She learned all her combat skills from Rosaline herself. Used to be one of her most valued subordinates, too.
You flatter me, Lady Marionette.
If she's Rosaline's protege, that makes me... Never mind. There's no need to bring it up. No point making things awkward.
How's progress on your end, Lady Marionette?
Equally successful. I finished reinforcing all the equipment. Took me a little longer without Polonia's help. But the outcome is the same, of course. Even if the heavy snowfall summoned by that monster lasts for another 3 months straight, this equipment won't give way. All right, now that we're done here, it's time to get out of this blizzard. Sure, but Snezhnograd will send someone to investigate and draw up a relief plan. And I guess I'll have to write the incident report myself this time, since it involves a mechanical malfunction. First, Pantalone needs to approve the budget, then Pulcinella has to sign off on the plan. Once they've argued it out and reached a compromise, we can move forward. That's the rough process anyway. Could take anywhere from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, depending on how smoothly it goes. Yup, nothing we can do about it. There's a whole stack of incident reports like this back at the office.
The snow has eased a little for now, but there's no telling when that will change with that monster still at large. Fuel for heating is in short supply, and relief is weeks away. There's no immediate threat to life, but still, it just feels like there should be a better way.
Hey, quit daydreaming. Let's get back to Snezhnograd. When did you get a new sword?
I found it in a cave. It handles pretty nicely.
You have a strange affinity for secondhand swords.
rules. Rules are rules.
Well, if it isn't Counselor Tartaglia, Mr. Big Shot himself.
Go easy on me, all right? I'm still recovering from the interrogation the real Big Shots put me through. Hey, comrade, it's been too long. I heard you came looking for me earlier. Nicest surprise I've had in a while. Good to see you too, Odette. I'm guessing you guys just got back from Sviatlo-Lajdovka. How'd it go? Crisis averted?
It went fine.
How about you? Any new developments?
Not really. Same as ever. Growing opposition to Project Stuja, and the usual rebuttals are starting to ring hollow. The results of the mock vote were pretty dire. Pulcinella was fuming. I've never seen the old man so angry.
That's not good news. It takes a lot to rattle him.
Yeah, obviously if push comes to shove, there are ways to crack down on dissent. But...
Sorry, I have to ask something. This is going to sound blunt, but may I?
Huh? Of course, fire away.
It sounds to me like everyone's tearing their hair out trying to figure out how to deal with opposition to Project Stuja. But what exactly is this project's purpose? And how can it be so important that even people like you two refuse to stand up for the ordinary people of Snezhnaya?
Interesting. I gotta hand it to you, comrade. You sure don't mince your words.
Excuse him? What does he mean, refuse to stand up for ordinary people?
Oh my gosh. How does he dare speak to the Harbingers like that?
Are you interrogating us now?
It's okay, Sandrone. Let me explain. I think I understand where he's coming from. If I could, I'd take your side right now. In fact, my position's very similar to yours. I've only held back on casting a dissenting vote in the Vecha because the Tsaritsa would never let me get away with it. Still, I have a responsibility to the Fatui armed forces, so I do what I can to make their voices heard. Most of them are just regular folks from small towns far from the capital. I'm sure you've seen how much those kinds of places are struggling right now. Oh, and for what it's worth, I'm from Arepasak myself. Things aren't going so swell there either. The Tsaritsa wants to create a better, safer future for the people of Snezhnaya, but she's thinking long-term. I don't doubt that from where you're standing, Project Stuja seems to be creating all sorts of issues for everyone. But considering the Tsaritsa's vision for the future, these are sacrifices worth making. Sounds cold, I know, but I promise it's not as black and white as it seems. Maybe Sandrone and I can't oppose Project Stuja outright, but we're constantly raising our concerns in Vecha meetings. And even though we can't put an end to it, there are plenty of other ways to make a difference. We're trying everything we can think of, and so is Pulcinella. I respect Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa, and trust her decisions. But at the end of the day, I'm still just a normal guy who cares deeply about my homeland. And my family, who all live here. There's no way I would ever abandon them.
As contentious as things can get within the Vecha, there's no selfishness or malice behind it. Everyone wants to get through this period as smoothly as possible. The issue is that there's no way of pleasing everyone under the present circumstances. Most of the time, we're trying to decide on the lesser of two evils, which obviously isn't a great look. But that is not the same thing as being blindly loyal to the Tsaritsa. No one's got their head in the sand here. We're all well aware of the way things are. We're just doing our best to make it work.
In fairness to Sandrone, she rushed to Sviatlo-Lajdovka's aid the moment she heard that people were in danger. And even Tartaglia, who used to only care about the thrill of the fight, is clearly doing his best to rise to the demands of his new role as counselor.
Hey, come on. There's only so much we can say, so don't press us too hard. Look, I know how untenable the Tsaritsa's position looks if you don't understand her motives. Maybe you've heard already, but she's currently leading her army on a campaign to the east to defeat the monster that's been causing these brutal blizzards. Striking that monster down will be a significant step in dealing with the present energy crisis. As laser-focused as she is on realizing her lifelong ambitions, she's still putting time and energy into taking down this powerful monster. To me, that says a lot. If she thought Snezhnaya and its people didn't matter in the grand scheme of things, why would she waste her time on something like this? Thanks. I meant every word I said, though. I wasn't just trying to placate you. I've already done more than enough diplomacy for one day.
I still think this adventurer raises a very important point. Our two harbingers have made their positions very clear. But there are many others in the Vecha who must feel trapped and forced to vote against their conscience. I think it's a very valuable quality to be willing to speak one's mind, despite the risk of offending powerful figures.
You can say that again. I highly doubt we'd feel the need to explain ourselves so much if we didn't know you so well.
Forgive me, adventurer, but might I be so bold as to ask about your background? How is it that you can converse so openly with two harbingers?
Oh, haven't you been properly introduced?
Easier said than done. I like to think I'm not the kind of person who goes around busting open people's old wounds.
I've only learned his name so far, and no details of his experiences. Is something wrong?
Uh-oh. Is there no avoiding the subject of Rosaline?
No, it's just... All right, I guess there's no getting around it. This is the world-renowned traveler, who helped resolve the storm terror threat in Mondstadt, cleaned up after the mess I made in Liyue, and then went to Inazuma, where there was a duel before the throne, in which the traveler defeated Rosaline.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't think you two would be seeing much of each other, so I figured it wasn't worth bringing up.
It's fine. It was a long time ago. It's fine. Sorry. I just remembered that we have a rehearsal coming up. Please excuse me. I should get going.
I've mentioned this to you before, remember? She was Rosaline's most valued subordinate. But they didn't actually get along. Not that Rosaline was really the type of person to make friends, but death has a way of resolving a lot of conflicts.
Don't let it weigh on you. Like she said, it was a long time ago. It's in the past now. Odette has a very different personality from Rosaline. Give her some time. I'm sure she'll work through it. Oh, by the way, where's Paimon? It's not like her to hide away.
She hasn't been feeling well, so she's resting at Podvorier restaurant. I got a couple of my people to look after her while we were gone.
Oh, right. Sorry to hear that. Poor thing. Reminds me of when Tonya was little. She really felt the cold back then. Used to get ill all the time. I felt so bad for her seeing her lying in bed, coughing. She was so mature for her age, though. Whenever someone came to visit her, she'd greet them with a smile and would never complain. I'm sure Paimon's a good kid, too. You're a little short on manpower, right? Let me have a couple of my people take over for yours. I'll send my most capable and reliable. They'll make sure Paimon can recover in peace.
Well, that would be great. Your people are more qualified.
Hey, don't mention it. I'm sure you have things to do. Hopefully this takes a load off your mind. So no more accusing me of not being on your side, all right?
Already? That was quick.
I'm afraid I can't help you there. Our director's recent movements are confidential. Even we're not in the loop. If you hadn't told me, I never would have known he'd gone south. I assumed he'd been in Glupov this whole time. Well, I guess I'd better go sort out Paimon's security situation. I have some other work to catch up on at Glupov anyway.
Me too. I have an incident report to write up. Let's leave it there for now.
I guess everyone's in a difficult position. But Tartaglia's right. I have things to do. Things I want to do. And things I ought to do. To start with, I should ask Alosha if he knows any way to help Svietlolaidovka. How strange. This sword seems to be vibrating of its own accord. It's a very faint vibration, but it's getting stronger as I get closer to the statue of the Seven. Does this sword have some connection to the statue? But all it does is vibrate, even when I touch it. That place I got this sword from was definitely out of the ordinary. Maybe I should try channeling the power of cryo. It worked. There really is something special about this sword. I don't really understand what just happened, but I'm pretty sure this sword just got a little more powerful. I'll have to try the same thing again when I come across another statue of the Seven. In the meantime, I'd better go find Alosha.
Sweet dreams!
Hello there. How can I help? Ah, sure thing. Give me a second. I'll go fetch him for you.
It's a familiar story. I've had similar experiences. Although Snezhnegrad doesn't deliberately delay or withhold relief, those first few days of waiting for help are always the hardest. It's a fundamental contradiction. If emergency relief can't be delivered in time, what's the point in even calling it emergency relief? Not necessarily. I think there's a good chance that Kresnik Crystal from Stratomeros will start flowing into the market. When we resolve Stratomeros' energy issue, it's like we open the floodgates. A huge backlog of Crystal is now available to the townspeople. There's no way they can use it up at once. A lot of them will probably stockpile it and slowly work their way through. Probably a good idea, since energy prices are only going to keep rising. But exactly. At the current prices, selling Crystal is an easy way for an ordinary person to make a fortune. Hey boss, how much do I have left in my account?
1 second. Let me check. So, you're planning on buying the Crystal out of your own pocket?
Yeah. I don't know if I have enough, so I'll chip in a little extra and buy as much as I can afford. No, it's fine. You're new to Snezhnaya, and you have your own living expenses to worry about. Besides, you're already providing the train.
Here's your Mora. See what you can find at the market, but I doubt there'll be much Crystal left.
Yeah, well, can't hurt to take a look. Let's see. Huh?
Oh, Alosha, and... Hello.
I didn't realize you two knew each other. Yeah, I take on some odd jobs in the city to supplement my hunting income. Sometimes I work as a cleaner or prop hand at the theater where Odette is one of the big stars, so I've met her a few times. When the weather's as bad as this, it's better for a hunter to adapt than to keep looking for game.
Yes, and we sometimes need extra help.
Wait, why is the atmosphere so awkward? I thought things went pretty smoothly in Svietlolaidovka. So, what brings you here, Miss Odette?
No. After I got back to the theater, I couldn't stop thinking about the situation in Svietlolaidovka. It bothered me so much I couldn't focus on my dancing. So I decided I'd come here and see if there's anything I can do. You too, I presume. I didn't feel comfortable expressing my true opinions in front of the Harbingers. Not least because ordinary Fatui like me don't even know what Project Stuja is all about. Without knowing the full picture, I can't make sense of it. And at some point, if things aren't making sense to me, I can't just keep going along with it.
So many people feel the same way. They wish they could do something, but all kinds of reservations hold them back. Explains why groups like the Roadcott are springing up to fill the gap.
Yes. Well, that's one option. But there are risks to consider with organizations like that. The Fatui does not encourage their activities.
Right, because things can get out of hand, and it's hard to hold the right people accountable when they do. I've heard about a few cases like that.
Sandrone said Odette was on track to inherit the title of the Fair Lady. If so, she'll be able to find out what Project Stuja is really about. Still, it's probably a little soon to ask her about that. There may be more to the story.
What's on your mind? I think we can both agree that no matter which side you're on, it can't stop you from doing the right thing. Where there's a will, there's a way. I know what Rosaline did while she was abroad. You made the right decision, so no hard feelings. So, what's your plan?
Oh, we were gonna buy some Crystal. I heard there's some on the market right now.
Funny. I had the same idea. In that case, let me pay. I can claim it back as mission expenses. The real issue here is that government relief is behind schedule. Surely it makes more sense for the state to cover these costs than for us to pay out of our own pockets.
True. It's a huge expense after all.
Let me see. I'll take it all, please. And I'll be needing a receipt. Right. Choose mission budget under the expense category, but be sure to specify emergency rescue operation in the description. Otherwise, the normal reimbursement limit will apply. Let's book this train. Regulations say that if we need to transport Kresnik Crystal during Project Stuja, extra carriages can be added 1 hour before departure. That should do it. The train will be escorted to its destination by Fatui guards.
This is my first time seeing you handle Fatui affairs, Miss Odette. It seems you're as skilled an officer as you are a dancer.
You flatter me. It's only because I've been doing both my whole life.
Anyway, I bet you've been non-stop today, am I right? Any idea how Paimon's doing?
What's wrong? Who's Paimon?
His travel buddy. Hasn't been feeling well. She caught a cold right after they got to Snezhnaya.
Sounds like she's important to you. I can't believe you've been dealing with this on top of everything you've been doing to help the people of Snezhnaya.
I've got nothing going on right now, so I'll join you. I want to see how she's doing.
May I come too? I have some candy that someone gave me back in Svietlo-Laidovka. Plus, I know a little bit about relieving cold symptoms.
All right then, let's go. I still don't know what the deal is between these two, but at least the tension seems to have vanished. A good sign, hopefully.
Hello. Sorry, but there's a sick person recovering in this room. Can I help you?
What happened?
Oh, please, excuse me. Are you the Traveler? Could I take a quick look at your Adventurer Handbook? Master Child said I should verify your identity. Ah, it's really you. Sorry for the inconvenience. We're under strict orders from Master Child to keep this room well guarded. At the same time, we can't interfere with Podvoye Restaurant's business. That would only seem all the more suspicious and draw unwanted attention to this room. Besides myself, a few of my colleagues are stationed in and around the restaurant, in plain clothes, of course. Rest assured, you're in safe hands.
I didn't expect such a high standard of protection.
Well, Master Child handpicked us for this special assignment. We're not about to let anything go wrong. Anyway, I won't keep you any longer. Please, head inside.
Traveler! Alusha, you're back! Oh, hey! Who's our new friend?
Hi, I'm Odette. The Traveler and I crossed paths a few times.
Another friend from the Fatui, huh? You're practically a member yourself by this point. Paimon's definitely on the mend. We should be back to our usual travels in a few days' time. Seems like that doctor was right. It's just... Paimon's limbs are still feeling a little chilly.
I have just the thing.
Whoa! What's this? Is that a flame inside an ice cube? Wait, is this real ice? How's it not melting? And how does the fire keep on burning?
All keen observations. You're right. This is called core ignis. Whenever I've caught a cold in the past, I found I recover much more quickly if I place this by my bed. You're welcome to borrow it.
Awesome! Wow! It's so nice and warm! Oh, it's like magic. Your name was Odette, right? How did you two meet again?
Looks like she's in pretty good spirits. That's a relief. Any progress with your investigation yet? No surprises there, I'm sure. They're not likely to let anything slip. Rokot, huh? Let me think. Members of the Rokot keep their true identities hidden, but I think there might be someone I can introduce you to. Leave it with me. Meet me at the Korolyevsky troop tomorrow, and I'll tell you how it goes.
Would anyone like a drink? I'm gonna head to the bar.
Paimon will have... maybe some hot milk? Yeah. Paimon's in the mood for something warm. Enough with the secret chat, you two. Let's catch up properly in a minute. Paimon wants to know everything that's happened today. It'll be kinda like Tabletop Troop. No reason why listening to a story can't be an adventure.